Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, this year Vinci Mas will be sharing the spotlight with ICC T20 World Cup, the marrying of the hottest carnival in the Caribbean and the premier cricket tournament has been tagged Runs and Rhythm. Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, Ricardo Adams, noted that while it has been tradition for Vinci Mas to be launched on the first Saturday in May, the decision was taken to revisit that launch period and merge it with the tour of the ICC T20 World Cup trophy here in SVG. He said that the CDC will be looking to capitalize on the attention that the tour of the trophy will bring. We hear more from Mr. Adams.
We thought that that was a good opportunity for us as the whole ICC tournament and our participation in the ICC tournament has been tagged with the Runs and Rhythm slogan. We thought that was a good opportunity for us to begin the fusion of the Runs and Rhythm. And we're also looking at the issue of there being a lot of eyes on the ICC Trophy Tour, and that would bring additional eyes on the launch of Vinci Mas. So we had already come up with a slightly different packaging for the launch of Vinci Mas this year, in that we were already going to move it out of the Victoria Park and take it to the streets of Kingstown. And so that again presented a fantastic opportunity for us to have that fusion.
That was the chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, Ricardo Adams. The local tour of the ICC T20 World Cup trophy will commence on May 15th and will culminate on May 17th at the Heritage Square when the trophy returns from Beckway in what has been dubbed the Vinci Mas Super Bowl. This event, in combination with the preceding Vinci Mas DNA parade, will see all elements of the hottest carnival in the Caribbean displayed in 24 hours. Friday, April 26th, 2024, saw the official tour on the windward side of the island for participants of the Challenges and Responses to Agricultural Development in the Caribbean Forum. Following the successful collaboration between the International Cooperation Development Fund in Taiwan and the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Rural Transformation, Industry, and Labor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, participants of the Challenges and Responses to Agricultural Development in the Caribbean Forum embarked on a tour on the windward side of the island. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, during the tour, participants had the opportunity to witness firsthand agricultural production and agricultural practices unique to the region. This provided additional insights and perspectives that complemented the discussions held during the forum sessions. The tour not only served as a means of further enriching the participants' understanding of the local agricultural context, but also fostered networking and relationship building among stakeholders committed to advancing agricultural development in the Caribbean. Still on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has urged the police of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to protect themselves in the face of danger. The Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of National Security, made the call during the recent passing out parade of police recruits at the Victoria Park. Prime Minister Gonsalves said that a police officer's obligation when met with danger is not to turn to run, but to act reasonably in the given circumstance. We hear more from Dr. Gonsalves.
If you meet a dangerous criminal with a gun, and he's pointing this gun at you, and you reasonably apprehend that he's going to use this weapon against you, or any weapon for that matter, your first obligation is not to run. Your obligation is to meet your attacker and act reasonably in all the circumstances. But that doesn't mean that you have to read them the Beatitudes. If you have to protect yourself, you have to protect yourself.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves reiterated that police officers must act reasonably, sensibly, and wisely. On to news in the region. Gun violence has claimed another life in the Bahamas. The Royal Bahamas Police Force, the RBPF, reported that a 38-year-old man was shot dead at a house which is located at Graham Drive, Yellow Elder Gardens, just after midnight on Sunday. Police Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Christine Skippins told reporters at the crime scene that the deceased was chatting with his sibling when there was a knock at the door. The homeowner opened the door, and upon opening the door, a male that is known to the family produced a handgun and opened fire on the victim, Skipping said. The murder took the country's 2024 homicide figure to 44. Skipping said preliminary investigations revealed the man and his killer had a previous dispute. She called on the country's men to seek alternative means other than violence to solve their problems. Grenada's opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell has accused the government of purposefully debating and passing the gun amnesty resolution while he was unavoidably absent. Speaking to the Caribbean Media Corporation, the CMC, on the sidelines of the Caribbean Community CARICOM Cricket Conference on Thursday, the same day the gun amnesty resolution was passed in the lower house, Mitchell said he believes the government deliberately schedules important sittings of the House of Representatives to clash with his personal appointments. He cited a previous occasion when a meeting of the Finance Committee of the Parliament, of which he is a member, was held on the day that he had to attend a court outside of Grenada, despite his request to have the meeting rescheduled. He said, however, the members of the opposition met prior to Thursday's sitting and agreed on areas they will focus on to bring attention to the opposition's concerns regarding the bill. Finally, on the international scene, at least 4 people were killed and dozens more injured after multiple tornadoes wreaked havoc in the central state of Oklahoma in the United States. The tornadoes caused extensive damage in the town of Sulphur, home to about 5,000 people, flattening buildings, threw vehicles into the air, and ripped the roofs from houses. A 4-month-old baby was among the dead, Hughes County Emergency Management Director Mike Dockery told Oklahoma television station KOCO. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt said about 30 people were injured, including some who were in a bar when the tornado struck. Hospitals across the state reported that 100 injuries, including people apparently cut or struck by debris, and more than 20,000 residents were still without electricity on Sunday evening. The National Weather Service, the NWS, reported that 38 possible tornadoes hit the area and that the worst of the storms rolled through central Oklahoma on Saturday into early Sunday morning, spreading into northwest Texas, western Missouri, and Kansas. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WEFM's Evening News, and we thank you for listening.